Shout out to our cousin sister Simone over at Girl Is That Legal? Apparently, our cousin sister Simone did a background check on Mr. Derrick Jaggs, and girl told the whole truth. My mouth hit the floor. The problem is, I knew nothing about this. Shout out to my new mentee. Was like, Janice, did you see that video that Simone did on Derrick Jaggs? I was like, girl, no, because I have been busy, finalizing my course, my husband profile course that ended last week. And I'm doing interviews for the new course that begins July 8th. And I'm working on my books, and I'm spending more time over on my Janice Hilton mentoring platform. If you're not connected to me, girl, make sure you are connected. My new book is coming out very soon, and I will be giving away about 20 copies, but it will only be for the people who is over at Janice Hilton Mentoring. So, girl, I listened to the interview, and girl, my mouth hit the floor. Mind you, I was in the bed, okay? And girl, my mouth just went off the bed because I just couldn't believe all that our cousin sister Simone was telling us about Mr. Derrick Jaggs and Miss Danae. But anyways, go on over to our cousin sister Simone over at Girl Is That Legal? She was on Ready to Love Her, and brother Rashid was also on Ready to Love. Forgot what season. This is 3 maybe. They are engaged, and hopefully they're getting married this year. So that's it, Sister Simone, cousin Simone. If you don't know who that is, I will link her video below. I want to thank you and give a big shout out to all of our new remnant cousins. Thank you for showing me love. Thank you for being in my shorts, honey. Girl, the dust is be over there. But anyways, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I adore you. Thank you for those of you who have signed up for the course My Husband Profile that begins again in July 8th. And of course, a big shout out for those of you who is picking up my #1 best-selling book, 23 Times the Guys You Might Meet, and leaving reviews. And of course, for all of my other books, I absolutely love you. I adore you. Be sure to subscribe and thumbs up. And I am wearing one of Alexi Full Boutique pajama t-shirt. I realized that I haven't been mentioning it. So this is my daughter, Alexia, and she has Alexia Full Boutique where she sells comfortable pajamas. This is like a t-shirt, pajama shirt, and comfort clothes. The link is below. Go ahead and check it out and show our cousin sister Alexia some love. She get a sale here or there every week, and she is just so happy about it. So I want to thank you for your love. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump into our cousin sister Simone, girl. Woo, I was like, girl, the tea is too hot. Let me go ahead and put myself down. But be sure to run on over to cousin sister Simone and subscribe to her channel.
All right, so let's go on in to Mr. Derrick. All right, what should we use? All right, so there we go. All right, for some who joined, yes. So what we're doing now is we are about to hop into Derrick JAXN. You are right on time. We're going into Derrick JAXN. So I'm just going to kind of lay out the backstory. So anybody who's not even familiar with Derrick JAXN, it's okay. Because we're going to give you the backstory. We're going to give you the information. And most importantly, I want to let y'all know, with this Derrick JAXN situation, this is going to be less a Derrick bashing or a Denia bashing or what have you. This is an opportunity for us to see literally how important background checks are, no matter who it is you're dating or marrying. So
shout out to the background checks, girl. I done told y'all. Y'all got to get background checks on these men. But she was desperate. There was 19. This is why I don't believe in boyfriends hooking up when y'all is young and trying to build together. The devil is a lie, child. I don't believe in it. But get your background check. You need credit check. You need blood work check. You need investment check. You need pay stubs check. You need W-2 check, girl. You need check.
Let's go ahead and get started here. Derrick JAXN. What's her name? Adriana, can you give me a little caption that'll say,
hey, Adriana,
that will just say, that we're transitioning to Derrick JAXN.
Hi.
Derrick. Again, if you are watching this from, if you're not watching this from my Girl Is That Legal page, please head on over to that. There you go. Oh, Adriana, oh, here we go. Adriana, are you good? Just making sure you're good. Adriana. Hey, Adriana, can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right, good. All right, so I'll pull you back out. I just want to make sure you're good on that. All right, cool. Also, Adriana, make sure you drop again in the chat for anyone that wants to join in, give their commentary or what have you. All right, so here's the backstory with Derrick. So Derrick JAXN, I just had a picture of him, funny with himself. Let me get a picture of him. So Derrick JAXN is an influencer, a relationship love guru and influencer that basically focused on telling Black women how to find love, how to get married, how to, get a great man like him. Apparently. And Derrick Jaxn, here we go. I'm going to show you guys. There we go. I'm going to share it. And Derrick, basically, he started growing on social media over the years. I did call him funny looking. He started growing in social media over the years. And now where we're at is that, here we go. Here's Derrick. So we all know who we're talking about. Let's go and get a big picture of Derrick. This is Derrick. This is Derrick. He gets on my nerves.
Yes.
No, get away from me. I'm going to the website. All right, so here's Derrick. Derrick is a love guru. He's all of these things for Black women. He's basically the opposite of Kevin Samuel. He's supposed to be uplifting us, all that kind of foolishness. Well, Derrick, though, it came out that basically he was a fraud and a phony. He was a serial cheater. His wife recently was on the Dear Future Wifey podcast last week, where she was telling her story. So it kind of started out because of the fact that around 2021, Tasha K came out and outed him. So here's the timeline. It's important to follow up. So here's the timeline that we got. So basically, they met in college around 2009-ish when she was like 19. I think he was around the same age. They went to Tuskegee. They met, they began dating. Whole relationship, he cheated. He was with other women, but she was really silent about that. Now, she's also a Jesus freak. She loves Jesus a lot, and so do I. But she will quote him in everything. She tried to curse everyone and stick the devil on you, all kinds of things for those who were speaking bad about her, but she's a super Jesus person, okay? I mention that because if you meet somebody and they're not that way and they grow to be that way, it's important you guys either grow together or you end up growing apart. So they ended up marrying in 2018. They met in 2009. They finally married in 2018. This was after they already had a child. They had a child. I forgot to add it to this. In 2016, they had their first child. Now, when they had that child, they weren't even together all the way. It was one of the off periods because he had been cheating all the time. Now, my mom always says, you don't reference somebody's cheating unless you plan to do something about it, right? Apparently, that was Denia's position, at least initially, because she kept quiet for years. She mentioned it, but then would never do anything about it. 2006 is their first kid because she was a Jesus freak getting pregnant. Yeah, that is true. I don't know how Jesus freaky she was back then, but she was definitely freaky back then with Derrick. She never cheated, according to her. Although she tried to make him think that, she had more options. She said she was very studious. She was like the studious type, all of that, and was so excited to have, the very handsome, fit jock that so many people wanted. They married largely because she got pregnant. Let's just tell the truth. They married because she got pregnant in 2018. Right. We all know that's a dangerous situation. In fact, she stated in the podcast, Dear Future Wifey, that when he proposed, they weren't even together. It was an off period. But he was building his brand at this point into a dating expert, in that space. So it seems like he did this for the brand. They have the kid. They get married in 2018. This is what I found, y'all. She filed for divorce the first time in 2020. She never mentioned that in the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Let me know if you guys knew that she had filed for divorce two times, not once. What? I was surprised about that. Somebody said, I'm surprised he even got married. He got married because it was a benefit to them. Yeah. Somebody said he's Steve Harvey's cousin. Somebody said, I think he targeted her from the very beginning, sensed her vulnerability and pounced. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Again, if you are watching from the Ages and Stages page, if you could hop over to Girl Is That Legal so I can get that monetization up, I'd appreciate it. All right. Filed for divorce in August of 2020. And I got those papers. We're going to get into that. And then she ends up dismissing it. What is that? About a month later? Now, ladies, interestingly, approximately 80% of divorces are filed by women. And it's been found that oftentimes we file, not because we actually want to divorce, but because we want them to take us seriously and to actually implement and do the changes that we're begging them to do. So consistent with the statistics, she had filed, here we go. Then dismissed it basically a month later. Then a year later, in 2023 was his first cheating scandal that was revealed by Tasha K. Tasha K came out with one of his little mistresses and did all that. And that's when we get the bonnet video, okay, where she was out here looking crazy with the bonnet. Then apparently at the point when Tasha K outed all of that, she actually was already aware of the cheating and all of that. They had worked through it privately. So basically we're finding out late, but she already knew about that. Here's a clip.
What's going on, guys? Derrick Jaxn here, and today I'm joined by my...
No, wait, that's the bonnet video, but I want to show you guys where she was. So the bonnet video is important because I could tell how tired she was with him in life because listen, this is what she wore, y'all. This is what she had on to reveal herself to the world as this dating guru's wife. I mean, we were all really concerned and confused because we really felt like why would you come on Beyonce's internet looking crazy like that? But it happened. So here we go. Trying to see if I can find the video of, the video from her, Lord have mercy, cussing everybody out in Christian. Here we go.
Cussing people out in Christian.
We're gonna get the Christian cuss out video real quick. I'm gonna add to it.
Cuss out video.
Somebody said she was like a puppet during that video. It was pretty sad. It made me sad for her.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're gonna get this exactly where it's at. I can do it this way. Hold on. I am going to Let's see. Here we go. I'm gonna play it from my downloads. I got 2 screens up. Here we go. I'm gonna do it from my share screen.
Take your time. Lay it out.
Because you have to get this Christian cuss out. Like if you don't get this Christian cuss out, your life will not be complete. It's very necessary. Here we go. Oh, I see. Time for the Christian cuss out. Time for the Christian cuss out. Ooh. Come on, we need this Christian cuss out. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We're gonna open this one up. Got the Christian cuss out for you guys.
Yes, Christian cuss out.
Let me see if I can share this one. Here goes the share. Ah, got it. All right.
Yes.
Oh, here we are.
Yes. Yeah.
It's time for Cash Course.
Okay, let's
financial literacy show.
You could get her commercial.
That will teach you the ins and
yes, girl. So let me tell you, this is why I am so against young people getting married, teaching, and all this stuff. Child, you don't have enough wisdom to be teaching. I never liked him. This 20-some-year-old boy teaching women on being married and how to be good, and you were still slinging it around in the name of Jesus. Child, I want to hear it. I want to hear it, boo-boo. Not a word. Okay, wait a minute. She came back. Why is my light flickering? Oh my God. And flickering light does not work for me. Maybe I should turn this light out because it's flickering and it's hurting my eyes. Okay, here we go.
James, JAXN, and DERRICK JAXN, and mockery, accusations, slanders, and lies. May the mercies of God be withdrawn from you. May your husbands and wives become widows. Let your children become fatherless. Let your seed become vagabonds on the earth. Let the words of your mouth and your words of your hands be returned back to you. Let it go down your throat and choke you slowly until your days become few on the earth. The word of God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. You've been warned. And if you want to know where that is at in the Bible, go to Psalm 109. Go to Psalm 30. Go to Psalm 140, go to Psalm 141.
So there we go. So it's actually a scripture that so it was not cuss words. It was a scripture where she was basically like, back up and get up off me. Okay. And leave us alone. So she was not playing with people no more. Okay. Not anymore. So that was the first step. So we got the background story. She then goes on, Future Wifey, Dear Future Wifey, and she shares her story. Let me share with you what was one of, for me, the most poignant clips. And then we're going to get into his background check. So I am just giving you the background of the DERRICK JAXN situation. Let's see.
Yes, honey.
We were still engaging sexually, even though we were off, right? And so it was in this time where there was a lineup of us. We were passing each other on the stairway.
She's talking about how she, even before they got married, she knew she was on rotation, that there were other women. And they were living together, but, she knew there were other women. This is what she says.
You were not passing each other on the stairway. No, yo.
We were passing each other on the stairway. Like, this is my shift from this time to this time. So, I was a willing participant in that, and this is like, I can laugh about it now, but it's really sad, to like what space you have to be in to accept that. And so I dealt with it already, so I can laugh about it now. And it's funny, but it's like, right?
Look back at your old self.
All right, so you get the gist. Bless her heart. Throughout the video, she's laughing, but it's like a nervous laugh, and it's a laugh where it's like, I can't believe I was so dumb. I can't believe I was so goofy. Was the gist of it. So she talks about that. Now, the other thing she talks about is how he very much like provided her this dream life. She talked about how she was a stay-at-home mom. At the time she had the one child, as we said, before marriage. And then she had her second child. Let's say they got married in 20, what did we say? When she got married, she was actually pregnant with her second child. So that baby is coming out, pop, pop, pop. Now she has 3 total children. And I believe they are all under the age of 8 years old at this point. Okay. So this is her now describing, though, how she dealt with his cheating and her solution, how she felt like she was going to try and over time convince him to stop and to pick her.
Jesus, you can't stop a man from cheating. That's the way he is.
Several women. I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. And I spent a lot of time, like I went in such a deep hole where I was like studying these women. I would go to their profiles and I would study their pages and like what they wear. I knew when they had met up. So I watched the videos of them having sex. So I would try to imitate that and recreate that in our relationships so that he could choose me and want me. And
he never
that was
did.
a low point to be, and I'm tearing up a little bit because I hate that I even got to a point where that was a thing, but that it was just that. And so I knew several other women's bodies better than I knew my own. I completely lost myself. I became a shell of myself. I tried to imitate their hair.
Jesus.
That was really sad. So you guys get the gist.
Oh, that's
really
depressing.
How that it took her through the ringer, right? And mind you, she was 19. This is the only man she's literally ever been with, right?
Yeah.
Which is very rare to deal with in our day and age. So I was excited to do his results. So let's go ahead and let's
Ooh, child, here come the dirt. Here comes the dirt. Prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves. The dirt's coming.
Great. All right. So with Mr. Derrick, he's got a lot going on. But actually, before we go into that, let's take a look at her initial divorce decree, the one that she filed in 2020. Now, the divorce decree, the divorce that they're currently going through, which is in Texas, which is where I'm based, those documents are it appears that they're sealed because I tried very hard to get access to them. And I could get the docket, I could see all of that. But when I clicked the documents, they were telling me I'm not an attorney on the case. So basically, mind my business. All right. So this is, I'm going to put on the screen the, here we go. I'm going to do it this way. The divorce docs. Very interesting to me. There we go. I'm making sure I'm showing the redacted ones. Now, you guys, the redactions here are going to be a lot lighter than usual because we know who we're talking about. So I am making sure that like his now, mind you, the addresses that we're looking at and we're dealing with, he doesn't live there anymore. Right. So I still redacted them though, just because, but just know. So if you see a piece of an address, just know these are not places they live at any longer, any longer. Okay, here we go. Let me share this screen. Scanning for viruses. Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Ooh, this is. So here we go. Let's do a little more.
Yes. Yeah. Show it to us.
That should be good. Now we should be able to see it. Let me share the screen.
Yeah. Show it to us. We want to see it.
If you're like me, your hair is the most important part of your day. So I need something that can keep this
Let's let her get her
look all the
commercial. So, girl, so did y'all know she filed for divorce in 2020? That is 2 years after they got married. And you know what I say, honey? A lot of these women are naked wives. If you file for divorce 5 years after you get married, it is because you overlook the red flags that were there that you didn't. Oh, that's the wrong book. I was looking like, why did that book look like that? This book. It is because there were issues there that you knew about that you overlooked and you thought you could change. A lot of these women, especially Christian women, a lot of wives, we don't have to say only wives, but a lot of these wives are the naked wives. They are not covered by their husbands. They are not loved by their husband. And these delusional women think that they can change these cheating men. No, boo-boo. That is who he is, boo-boo. He is a cheater. You married a cheater, and you knew he was a cheater before you married him. So, girl, I don't want to hear. But anyways, let's get back to cousin sister Simone, honey. Go ahead, cousin Simone, tell us.
All right. So, okay, yes. And this is the redacted version. So the main thing I wanted to draw your attention to, y'all, on this divorce is now she specifically said with the current divorce, what ended up happening was, she was all upset with him. She went to Colorado. After the cheating scandal correction, when they were trying to work through it, the one that we found out about in 2021, she said she packed up all her stuff. She went back home to Colorado where she was from, brought her kids, stayed with her mother, and was there for 8 months. She had different things she required of him, including that they needed to do couples therapy, work through that. She needed to go to therapy for her personal issues as well. And she wanted them to renew their vows. She also stated, stay with me, this is going to be very important. She stated that she had decided that Atlanta was too much. She was too tempted, blah, blah, blah. They needed a fresh start. So he did not agree to Colorado. He agreed. He said he wanted them to move to Texas. All right. So this is, and then when they, basically there was an 8-month period prior to them getting back together where she wanted them to just.
Listen, y'all, he wanted them to move to Texas. Pay attention to why, because this is a Simone thing. He wanted them to move to Texas. Let me tell you, honey, don't you ever trust a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Work everything out. So this divorce petition was filed at the beginning of that 8-month period. Okay. This was filed, it looks like, and this was in August of, what did we say, like 2020? Here we go. Yeah, August of 2020. Here she is. Here's what matters is interesting to me. The current divorce, he filed on irreconcilable differences, but she filed claiming infidelity. She filed claiming infidelity. Adriana, please bring up the attorney talking about the infidelity portion of that. Make sure that clip is there if it's not already. So yeah, so now she's claiming infidelity, but back then in 2020, she was just saying, it was irretrievably broken, basically irreconcilable differences. Here's why it matters. Because in states like Texas and Colorado and Georgia, if you say adultery, instead of having to split things 50-50, you can get a disproportionate share. So you might be able to get 60%, 65% if you are the innocent spouse that got cheated on, right? So again, before, when she was really, trying to work on everything, it was, no adultery. Now she's going for what she wants. She said, adultery, give me more.
So guys, ladies, that's good to know, because in New Jersey, in the blue states, the heathen states, them blue states, it's a no fault divorce. And I never knew that until I was writing my book 23 Types of Guys, when my one of the ladies said, oh no, there's no fault divorce, there's only irreconcilable differences. You can't claim adultery in New Jersey, New York, and some of the other blue states. So this is interesting to know that in Texas, Georgia, them southern red states, that you can say he committed adultery and you could get you more money. So this is not, ladies, hint, hint, hint.
All right, so they had 2 minor kids back then, one born in 18, one born in 16, blah, blah, blah. Here's the other thing I care about. This is what matters. Petitioner requests that all real and personal property be equitably divided between the parties. Okay, that means she's clearly assuming that they have real estate and that they have personal property. So usually like cars and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you don't put real property if you don't own any real property, right? If you look at someone in New York City or someplace where they, in the marriage, they never own or they don't currently own any real estate, this is what you put. Number 13, she said she requests that the marital debts be equitably distributed. That was smooth, right? Because otherwise debt is split 50-50. But here, she was a stay-at-home mom the whole marriage. In fact, she even worked for his business, helping him do his influencing business. At the height, she said he had 4 million followers across platforms. Jesus. So then in 15, she says, petitioner is substantially dependent upon respondent. That's right. She's a stay-at-home mom taking care of his kids. Mm-hmm. And she states that she's dependent for her support and maintenance, and that she is entitled to receive a lump sum and or periodic alimony from the respondent on both temporary and permanent basis. Now, mind you, she filed this in Georgia. Georgia will do just that. Right. But watch what happens when he lures her to Texas and then files in Texas. It's going to be different. Jesus. It also says the respondent is in Derrick should be required to pay her reasonable attorney fees, litigation on a temporary and permanent basis. Blah, blah, blah. Where you file is super important, you guys. Super, super important. Texas is an at-fault state. All at-fault meaning the person who is the cheater basically will be in trouble. California is not at fault. That's probably because in California they nasty and they do it to whoever, whatever. So in California they don't care if it's his fault. In Georgia, it appears here that that may be at fault too. I'm not sure. So anyway, this is a petition. So remember, she said she wants half of the real estate and the personal property. Now, no, in the interview, she also talked about how she didn't know anything. She was a stay-at-home mom. He controlled the money. He worked. He did all of that. She wasn't even involved initially in his business. She started to help due to the fact that, she wanted to keep tabs of what he was doing, both, at work and with his penis. So fast forward. So now let's look at what came up in the background check. Here we go.
Jesus.
All right. So, oh boy, we'll go to this first. Hold on. Let's go to assets. We're going to go to assets first, because that's really what before you file for divorce, you better make sure you are very clear on what assets y'all have or don't have. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Can we make sure you can see the screen?
Assets.
Take charge of your drive behind the wheel of a 2023 EV6. The EV6.
Woo! I tell you, girl, cousin sister Simone is getting her foot in it, honey. Okay, a lot of y'all, the Naked Wives, that's available on Amazon. Be sure to pick it up. My husband profile course begins July 8th, y'all. Listen, ladies, sign up for this course. A lot of y'all marry the Derrick Jacks and then y'all cry about it. Well, I can help you to figure out if he's a Derrick Jacks or not, and why you should not marry men like Derrick Jacks. You cannot change these men, okay? You can't help them. You can't change them, and you cannot fix them, boo-boo. So just go ahead and just, learn what you want and what a husband is supposed to be. A husband is to love his wife and provide for her and protect her. Okay, all right, let's skip this. This is 3 minutes, something. Okay. Here she go.
All right, so assets. Now, during the interview, she talked a lot about their homes, their properties, da-da-da-da. This was the first, remember, I did a background check and I got all of their addresses, da-da-da-da, because I wanted to know, like, hey, what are they going to be fighting for? What kind of assets is it that, she's anticipating? Now, mind you, they were together since 19, but he married her, because of the kid, he married her not till 2018, and the first time she filed for divorce was in 2020, but now they filed again in 22. So that means only 4 years of marriage. This was the first house they lived in. Y'all, look at this.
4 years.
There are even better pictures here. Let me zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in a little more. But it's a nice house. It's worth like about $615,000 now. They lived in it a few years ago, but they rented it.
Right.
I was like, oh, okay, we got a little rent situation. That's okay. But for him to be making the millions allegedly from all of that, I was a little disappointed. I even checked the history to say, well, did they used to own it? No. Here is the sales information on the property. It's got grantee, grantor, you know, all the people over the years. 2013, they basically would have still been in college. So 2014, 2016, no, these are not even, it's not his LLC, it's none of the above. This is where they live and they rented it. Next up, we talked about the condo. Well, we all know a condo is very specific. A condo is what you own. This dude had an apartment. You see this lease now?
What?
He had an apartment, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But my point is, during the course of their marriage, you're making all of these millions. You're relying on your spouse, right? To be building equity, to be building assets with these millions that he's making from social media, according to him. And the point of this, y'all, is if you're going to allow him to control all of the money, and you know he's cheating and that you may need to leave any day now, you better be damn sure what you own, what you don't own, the debts you have, right? Because you could be 50-50 responsible for the debts, even as a stay-at-home mom. And you need to especially know about your assets, because like the woman in the first segment talked about, he spent half his retirement. He spent all of his retirement. That was her portion. So you want to have assets like a home or something like that you can obtain in a divorce, because anything in that bank account, that Negro will spend. So again, this was the condo that he used to go to all the time to film that he swore he needed. And y'all, this is the big house. So she talked in the interview a lot about having the 9,000 square foot home that was so beautiful, so gorgeous. Look at it. Estimated at about $2 million. She said it was in the same neighborhood as like Offset and some of those people.
Girl, so it was rental. She didn't even own it, and she thought she owned it. Girl, well, let me tell you, y'all better ask for the. Let me tell you, and people talk about me, laugh after me when I ask for tax record, credit, W-2s, credit report. I need it all, boo boo. Girl, she ain't gonna get nothing, child. She ain't gonna get nothing. No wonder she's trying to sell $10,000 classes. Ooh, child.
I was like, oh, okay, good, girl. 1.8 million, good. Girl, get your 50% of that. Or, you know, if the court finds infidelity, you could potentially get 65, 60, 70. You know, it just varies. And then I pulled up the ownership history. Not ever. Never. They never owned it.
Oh!
Never. So none of it. None of this. In fact, it was in it was in Fulton County. I checked Fulton County with these records. Derrick Jackson has never owned a property in Fulton County ever. I did the same thing for Forsyth County. That's the other county they lived in. He's never owned a property ever. Jeez. So poor little stay-at-home mom is out here thinking, oh, okay, in this divorce, we're gonna have to split assets. What assets? You don't have none. You don't have nothing. You let this man control your mind, your heart, and your future, and your kids' future.
Jesus Christ.
Who you didn't trust. Baby, if you don't trust him with his penis, if you don't trust him with his penis, you definitely should not be trusting him with your finances.
With the money.
Because guess what? To cover up infidelity requires what? Coins. And if you were checking bank statements or credit card statements and so much of that, you would be able to find out where this money is going and what's happening with it. But he on purpose didn't want her to know. So bless her heart. In her divorce pleading, she is fully expecting that they have assets and they have not.
They have nothing.
Even their cars are not paid off.
Woo!
Their cars are either leased or have notes on them. But check this out. I took it a step further. Jesus. Not only have they never owned a home during the marriage, right? Yes. He can't get a home.
He can't.
Y'all look at this foolishness.
Girl, what you mean he can't?
Here's why. We did the assets. Liens. This mofo literally ran up an Amex card of over $35,000. I say on hoes, although I haven't looked at the actual bill, but let's take a look. Let's just take a look here. We're gonna share.
Jesus.
We're gonna switch screens. Let me get you to the here we go.
Build a fence, Lord, build a fence.
This is
Woo!
We're gonna switch screens. Here we go. Go to the share. Y'all, if you know, Adriana, my producer, please drop Danae's Cash App on here. Seriously, I'm not being funny. Dear future wifey, he actually, in one of the captions, he put her Cash App. Let's bless her, because this is about to be a for real battle, not just on the Jesus battlefield, but in the courtroom, because this man was wasting your time and your money. Mm-hmm. All right, so I shared it here. Here's the complaint. American Express is not playing with him. They're not playing with him at all. So they are suing him. Mind you, this is 2021. Okay, this is August of 21. That means it was March when the cheating scandal came out and they were working through their marriage and all of that. So that was during all of this. Here we go. Amex is suing this fool for $33,972. He ran up the bill, ran off on the plug. Now, here we go. When you have debts like this, you can't get a car note, another car note. You better be paying cash for a bunch of stuff. But stay with me. I'm going to roll back. Here we go.
Roll it back. Yeah. Roll it back.
These, ladies and gentlemen, is a list of his liens. This fool got 7 tax liens. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 7 tax liens. And here's why tax liens are so gosh darn dangerous. And this is also why it's important that when you're dealing with a man, especially a cheater or somebody where you're like, hey, I might have to dip up on him, you need to really make sure you understand the finances and make sure that they're taken care of. You need to have access to every bank account. at least the accounts that the household bills are being paid in. And you need to know how much these bills are. If she knew how much the bills are, she would know in the 9,000 square foot house that they got to be renting it and cannot be owning it based on how the bills are being paid.
Jeez.
Here, though, here's his liens. Y'all, he owes, and these are not like old. He owed $1,700 in 2021. This is to the state of California because he has shop Derrick JAXN where he would sell items and stuff like that. And I guess he wasn't paying you have to pay like a sales tax to each state, and California is one of them. So he owed $1,768 that year, and then at another point it was $1,783. There's another $1,700. This one that's also California, slightly different amount.
Wow.
Here we go. Watch this one, y'all. Look at this one. Georgia. He owes the state of Georgia. What does that say? $27,000 in back taxes.
Oh my God!
$27,000. You can't get no house with that. And then that was for, I have those documents. And he owed them another year. He owed them $5,800. Look at this.
Wait a minute, batteries running.
Fulton County, $5,800 in back taxes.
Hold on, y'all.
That was for the period of 2016. The year of 2016. Look at this one though, $27,000.
Oh my God, girl, can you imagine? Hold on. Girl, this is terrible. And you know what's the sad thing? Woman is still listening to this fool. That's how you know they're pygmies and dust bunnies. Girl, bye. Come on, Sister Cousin Simone. Lay it out, honey. I got cash out Sister Simone some money for all this goodness.
That was for the year of 2017. Now, yes, it was a while back. But this $27,000, well, it's no wonder he couldn't get them a house.
Jesus.
You will not get approved for a house with an unpaid tax lien. You must satisfy it. Now, I then saw that here we are. It was 2019. You can see the date here. In 2019, he paid off the tax lien, the $27,000. Great. He paid that off. That was during the marriage, right? So maybe he was preparing, I don't know, to be able to purchase them a home together. Because as we know, a few months later, she did file for the divorce in 2020. So he satisfied that. But yeah, he still had satisfied this $33,000 to Amex. Again, that was a 2021 case. And as of now, it currently shows that it's pending. It does not show it's dismissed, which is usually what's filed when someone satisfies their debts. So
it's pending.
Somebody said, how do you make millions of dollars and can't pay off your debts? It's irresponsibility. It's irresponsibility is what it is. And again, you can't be letting these men both cheat on you and squander your money and your resources. These people got married, back in 2018? You know, houses were a lot cheaper, especially in Atlanta and other places. Not to mention, we were out here having 3% interest rates. There should be something there. Someone says the next person I date, I will happily pay you for a background check. There should be something that should be done. But let's talk about the last move that he did, the most important move. Y'all, this fool. Here we go. Wait, Adriana, were you able to upload? Let me see. Did you upload that other video of the other attorney? Hold on.
Yes, it's there.
Okay, which one is it?
It's
Zanaya speaking.
We were still engaged.
Sorry.
This summer, get to Burlington for the hottest deals under the sun.
Can you imagine? So now she thinking they have a house. They ain't got no house, honey. Let me tell you, but you know what? Women sign up for this every day, all day. You knew it, girl. You just thought you could change it. This is why you need to sign up for my course, my husband profile course, honey. Because you know what? A lot of y'all out here is marrying Derrick JAXN. If you're already married to him, I can't help you. But a lot of y'all choose this man. Yes, I said it. A husband is a choice, boo. So you need to choose wisely. A lot of y'all choosing these men with the community D's, and you think because he signed a piece of paper, it's gonna change. And no, ma'am, that is who he is. He is a community D man. Okay, here goes Sister Simone. Okay, she's back.
I'm leaving here with something. All right, so while Adriana is trying to find that, here's what I really need you to know. The biggest, most important, I would say, manipulative chess maker, because men who are like this, chess mate thing that he did, because men who are cheaters like this, they think they're always the smartest person in the room. Right. They think they know better than everybody, they smarter than everybody, and that's why they think they can get away with it. What he did was this: he got that girl to leave Colorado, where she had her support system, her mom and everything, not go back to Georgia, not stay in Colorado, but to come to Texas. And here's why. So let's say that's not it. Here we go. Add this back. So we did the liens, we did the assets. That was the first house. That was the condo. This was the house that it seems, if you watch the video, it seems that when she would talk about that 9,000 square foot house, she felt like she was a homeowner. She wasn't talking about no renter. She was like, and we had this and we had that. Somebody said, why is she giving advice? She's probably telling you what not to do. Forum shopping. Here's why. Hold on. Yeah. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to pull it back down. So here's why. Texas child support is in a league of its own. It is in a league of its own. Here we go.
Jesus.
Here we go. Texas child support is a league of its own because it's one of the few states that has a cap. Texas caps how much child support. That's right. They create a maximum on how much child support you could be on the hook for. So let me see. How do I
Woo,
get this
child. He's a
You.
chess player. He's a chess player.
Mhm.
Chess.
This is very important.
Checkmate.
Can I do it in this order?
Girl, this is scandalous. This is scandalous. Come on with it,
All right, here we go.
Simone.
Where did my little? Here we go.
I got cash taps, Sister
Hold on,
Simone.
guys. I'm getting to the page. I'm new at this. Is Google Sheets. Here we go. Damn it. Hold on 1 second. Y'all got to see this.
Yes.
There we go. So we're going to go back to. Make the view big so that you can see the whole. We got view. Slideshow.
She gonna miss out.
All right, so we got. Make it a little bit smaller. Let's share. How do I share this bad boy? There we go. I'll share this other window, which is this one. And
take your time, Sister Simone. Don't rush it. We here for the tea. We here for the tea.
All right, and we're gonna do view slideshow. All right, there we go. So you should be able to see it now. All right, so Texas child support versus other states. I just want to make sure I break this down for you guys because most cases, you've always lived in the same state. You don't have a choice. You can't go anywhere else. But if you are in a divorce situation or even a situation where your baby daddy lives in another state, before you decide what state you want to file in, you better get a consultation with an attorney in that state as well as one in your state. And here's why. Texas child support, like I said, is janky. Texas child support is capped at $9,200. So look at this. This is an example, assuming the man makes $50,000 per month. Okay, per month. If he makes $50,000 per month, and let's just say his monthly taxes are 5%, I put it at 10% because of the deductions on it. It could be more, but the point is it doesn't matter. And he has 3 kids. He's not even paying health insurance for the kid because he's that raggedy. Then the child support calculator for Texas says your monthly child support is $2,760. Now that's not a small amount, but the issue is when he makes $50,000 a month, that's very small compared to that. Hell, that's not enough money for you to both keep a roof over their head and pay rent because it's 3 kids, right? 2 girls and a boy. So you need 3 bedrooms. You can't get no 3-bedroom for that and have enough for food. Somebody's going to be on food stamps. Hell, I own a Section 8, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And Section 8 for next year is going to be $2,300 for that 2-bedroom and 2-bath. So even if I let her move into my little Dallas Section 8 condo, she's still going to have to get up and go to work or give her some food stamps to feed those babies. She can house them, but she can't feed them. Now check this out. Now, but let's compare it to, for example, California. California, same amount of money, $50,000. This is her having the kids majority of the time, him seeing the kids only 20% of the time, which is what it is when you are the other, that's standard for the other parent. $13,678. $13,678.
A lot of money.
So he picked Texas, or she threw out Texas, and he said, "Oh yeah. You're not gonna convince me." He didn't go and speak to an attorney to confirm and say, "You know what? We're gonna pick one of the states that has a it has no state income tax, so that's great. Now we won't have to worry about those tax liens to the state of Georgia anymore. All right, but then it also has a child support cap. So literally in Texas, whether you make $50,000 per month or $9,200 a month, right? 92, what is that? 9 times 12. What is $9,200 a month? That's closer to I don't know. Somebody put it in the chat. Whether you make $9,200, basically $9,200 or $50,000, your child support is set at the same, and that is because after $9,200 a month, Texas does not increase your child support if that is what he earns. I'm not saying what he pays you, but if he earns over $9,200 a month, they figure, it's Texas. You don't need that much to take care of a kid. And they say, hey, if you got to get up and go to work, so do you. But it doesn't help women like herself. She has a college degree, but she has been taking care of his kids and his business for at least the last 5 years. The other thing about Texas does not do alimony unless you've been married a minimum of 7 years.
Okay,
Well,
so let's stop that because
part of the reason why Derrick,
I'm learning something. See, Texas, you get alimony after 7 years, I guess, because of the 7-year itch. In New York, New Jersey, boo-boo, is 10 years. And see, I thought it was 10 years all over the country. But no, because Sister Simone is teaching me something, because I told you about the lady that went to get a divorce. And she was married 8 years. The man was a community D, couldn't keep it in the pants. And she went to see the lawyer, Abraham Jeremiah, read between the lines. And he said, bring all the paperwork. And she brought in all the paperwork. He said, ma'am, Miss Smith, let's just say her name is Smith, go home, make your husband a nice dinner, and come back and see me after 10 years. And she was like, why? She said, because 10 years, you get half of everything. Well, boo-boo, she went home being the nice, beautiful, feminine wife, cooking and cleaning and washing and, laying the pipe with protection. Girl, at 10 years, she got half of everything, honey. And he was making a lot of money. Half of everything. She got the house because she got the keys. She got half his pension, half the Social Security. Girl, she got half of everything. So this is good to know that in Texas, hint, hint, ladies, hint, hint, Texas, you only got to be married for 7 years to get alimony. Go ahead, Carla.
Filed in October. It's reported that BET and BET Plus came to him and was offering him a TV show. And he did not want to sign a deal while in the marriage because then he'd have to give her half of his earnings, half of the money he would be receiving from the deal. So you think it wasn't just by chance? You think it was by chance that he picked Texas? Oh no, this was gamesmanship. He chose to go ahead and file before he accepted the BET contract. But guess what? We come on, everybody put Denia's cash app back up here because we're gonna support Denia. Because guess what? If Denia's lawyers are able to confirm that offer was presented and on the table prior to the divorce literally being final, even though he has chosen to push it off, she can still move to get a portion of that. Why? Because it can be considered intentional underemployment. That's right. And intentional underemployment means, hey, I have this job offer and I'm choosing not to take it or not to start this job because I don't want to have to pay child support based on that income. Now, given that Texas has that cap, his child support wouldn't be any different based on that. However, alimony potentially would be. Now, we said alimony in Texas, you have to be married a minimum of 7 years. They've barely been married 5, right? So that's going to be difficult to get. However, if she's able to show things such as the fact that she was a kid's primary caregiver, she hasn't worked in years, because she was taking care of the kids according to their own agreement, she may be able to get some limited alimony for a few years to allow herself to get on her feet. Somebody said he filed in Texas for that reason. I believe so. This is to allow him to get on her feet. Make sure you send me again, Adriana. I don't see. Let me see.
What did he file?
Oh wait, let's see. Hold on, what's that?
Irreconcilable differences.
So I posted this after watching part 1.
Gotcha. All right, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, somebody said I can't take no more. All right, the children's school age. The children, all three of the oldest child was born in 2016. So yeah, 2016, 2018, and they got like a baby. Because it's like every time she got ready to leave him, she would get pregnant again.
Right.
Now, girl, and she mentioned that she terminated 3 pregnancies before she even had her first child in 2016. We know that was all with him. So that's just another example of his failed leadership and really putting all the responsibility on her. Now, one of the things, again, drop that link. Somebody said, what happened to birth control? That was my birth control. I would have had something up underneath my skin because I don't have a good memory. So when I want to control my birth, I have to do like the shot or something I don't have to think about on a daily basis. That would have been something that I would consider. But I want to share, this is my friend, Brenda DeRuin. She is an excellent Texas family attorney. This is some comments that she had. Now, I have to tell you, I am a bit nervous for Denia, you know what I mean? Due to the fact that I did pull up her docket. Ooh, let me see if I can put a picture of y'all. I'm nervous. I can put this picture up, y'all. You gotta look at this. Hold on. Wait, y'all gotta see this. It's about her divorce attorney. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Wait.
Ooh, child, I'm just tired. I'm worn out. All this dirt has worn me out. I was worn out.
All right, well, I can't seem to find it at the moment, but basically what it was, I was a little nervous for her because I looked up the attorney that Denia has, and he is an attorney at one of the car accident law firms that advertises on park benches and bus stops. So I hope maybe he's new to the firm or something, and that family law really is his specialty because she's going to need that. Also, because I remember hearing her say in the interview, she had him, write out a list of everyone that he cheated with her on her with. And it was a list of like 11 people, but it was really a lot more. Well, here's an interesting take that family attorney Brenda DeRuin has regarding this case and whether or not a court is going to take into consideration the infidelity. I want to hear your thoughts.
Hey guys, so like most of you, I watched the Dear Future Wifey podcast with JAXN. And as a divorce attorney, here's what caught me up.
Y'all filed. He filed. Who initiated the divorce?
He filed. He filed on October 13th, and then I counterfiled on October 25th.
Why did you counterfile?
Adultery.
What did he file?
Irreconcilable differences.
So I posted this after watching part 1 of the interview on yesterday because I already knew what was going to be in part 2. The problem that I have with Denia filing for an at-fault divorce with her basis being adultery is throughout part 1 and part 2, she tells us how she married a man whom she knew was a cheater, continued to stay in a relationship with a man whom she knew she was a cheater, and was a willing participant participant in this relationship. Now, Texas is an at-fault state, and if you can prove adultery as the basis for your divorce, you're entitled to a disproportionate amount of the community estate. I unfortunately don't believe that Denia should be entitled to a disproportionate amount of the community estate because I believe that this is not the basis for her divorce. What do you guys think? Leave a comment below.
Ooh, the lawyer said no. Jesus.
It's the Father's Day sale at Fosco's with great gift ideas for dad.
What y'all?
Tropical sports shirts from.
Sister gonna get her commercial. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that? Y'all think? Okay, come on. This is my new book. Dating is for Data, coming soon. Okay, I'm gonna send it to my formatted. Maybe tomorrow. I know I've been dragging my fucker, but anyways, what y'all think about what the lawyer said that she don't think she should get it because she don't think that is the basis for her divorce? Do you all agree with her? I would love to know what y'all think about that. Okay, wait, she's back. Okay, wait.
Because remember, the first time she filed for divorce, she didn't say it was adultery. And he was cheating with just as many people back then as he is now. But back then, she was the one filing the petition. Now she's in defensive mode. So basically, what Attorney Brenda is explaining is that when you know that he was cheating pre-marriage, they've been cheating your whole relationship, and you were aware of it, right? That you don't get to get married, knowing good and well you're marrying a cheater, get cheated on multiple times, right? And then at the point when he's filed divorce, be like, I don't want to be cheated on anymore. So that is a really interesting argument, but I really want women to really consider that and how you can't just yell infidelity when you know good and well he's been cheating the whole relationship, especially here, 19 years of a relationship. Because the true question you should be asking yourself is, now, what made you think he was going to stop? What incentive would this man have to stop just because y'all getting married? Especially where here, they got married because they had a child.
Right.
He wanted to be a dating guru, and he knew he looked at a damn fool out here making a baby mama out of her. Not doing the right thing, but yet telling people, oh yeah, I'm a great guy. I am the kind of man you should aspire, to date. Hell to the no. Pam, I know it's late in where you are, but you are welcome to come join if you would like to just come on and share any of your thoughts. Again, you don't even have to turn your camera on if you would like. Somebody said, I think she's a hater. Somebody said, that's why most people who are going through divorce don't do interviews, because because anything you say can be used against you. And again, how is it cheating if you knew?
You knew, right?
It seems like, So Latarius did ask her, like, why not just go to him or what if he had come to you and said, you know what, I'm gonna be an excellent provider. I'll make sure you and the kids want for nothing. I'm just going to stray every now and then. What would you have said to that? And she was like, absolutely not. Where did she said, show me where in the Bible it says that's acceptable. That was her response.
Oh,
and it made me think
with the Bible again.
I wonder if it was her subsequent, reconnection with God that made her decide that's no longer acceptable. Well, it appears that happened after they married. So effectively, if you're saying, I knew he was cheating, I tolerated it, my hope is he'd grow out of it, and you get married, you don't get to change the terms after the fact because you decide I'm sick of this ish. Now, you can surely divorce, but you can't get a disproportionate share based on something he was going on for you. Brenda, somebody said she didn't want to leave him. He told her he wanted a divorce. So had he not made that decision, we wouldn't be here. No, that's true. She didn't want to leave him. She always viewed him as the prize. And one of the saddest parts, y'all, that she referenced was when she said she knew other women's bodies better than she knew her own. What she was referring to is she would look at videos in his phone of him cheating with other women, sex tapes, and she would study them with her goal being, I want to learn how they do what they do. That way I'm going to learn how to do it so that he will pick me. Her strategy was being the last woman standing and being willing to do whatever it took so that he would pick her. But I'm here to tell you, ladies, I'm very confident at this point in my life that there's only two types of cheaters in this world. And those are men who cheat because of them and men who cheat because of you. And what I mean by men who cheat because of them, what I mean is it don't matter who they with. They could be with Beyonce and Halle Berry or Halle Berry, whatever. They're still going to cheat. And they're going to cheat because cheating for them is about something that they have not resolved within themselves, and generally and very likely in trauma from their mother-son relationship. It could be the fact that they felt like their mom never gave them the care, the nurturing, whatever. It could be that they feel like I'm an amazing provider. So as long as it's discreet and I only do it once in a while, it's not a big deal. It doesn't, if you are with that kind of man, it doesn't matter what you do. You can pop on a handstand. You can have a surgery procedure to get yourself a second vajiggle jaggle. Okay. None of those things are going to keep him from cheating. It's him. And I see it disproportionately with men who have mom issues where they felt they could not trust their mother, or that their mother did something that hurt them, that is unresolved. Because at the end of the day, if you can't trust your mother, the woman who made you, the woman who brought you here, you will never trust a stranger. You'll never trust me. You'll never trust another woman. And secondly, when I talk about men who cheat because of you, those are rare instances, I believe. Those are instances like you're in a long distance marriage and, you know, he wants it more frequently than you guys are together.
No, I don't
maybe,
believe it's just a small.
you know, you're not interested in sex anymore and you guys only do it, you know, twice a year. Those cheating situations, I believe those are more likely to be resolved, right? Because that would be a you situation where he is cheating because of a specific behavior that you are doing that you can correct. But poor Denia, if you are in a situation like Denia's, where that man has cheated with
I don't
people,
agree with
people,
that. I don't agree with that. Cheating, you cheat because of you, because when you take vows, you take those vows to God. So you're making the pledge to God that you're going to be faithful to your vows. That's what people don't understand. It's not only taking vows with your mate, but you're taking vows with God, which is one of the reasons why I say I don't care what other people do, but me, I'm going down to the church and I'm going to stand at that altar. Okay, let me put this down. I'm going to stand at the altar. Turn my light on because the light was going in and out. I'm going to go on down to the church and I'm standing at the altar because if Michael Thompson decides he want to act up, girl, I'm dragging him back down to the church at the altar. Okay. So I don't agree. And I think that's one of the things people don't understand is you're taking vows with each other, but most importantly, you're taking vows with the Godhead. And that's why marriage is a 3-strand cord. It's the husband, the wife, and the Godhead. And so you're taking vows with God himself. And it's up to you as a man or a woman to be committed to your vows with God. Because if you can't keep your vows with God, you can't keep it with your husband or your wife. Okay?
Because even when you're gone, when you put another woman in that role, he's going to cheat on her too. Somebody said that's still about, somebody said it's still about him. It could be a little bit different. Somebody said, okay, tell us, Simone. Somebody said, my uncles are those kind of cheaters. It's just internal to who they are. My grandma was a saint to me, but they knew her before I was born. Here's the other thing about Derrick and men like this. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But specifically, I see many times where men who are very successful, they feel entitled to cheat because they feel like, look, I am giving you a lifestyle you would never be able to accomplish on your own. You know, I got you in this 9,000 square foot home. I got you driving these fly cars. You have nannies. You have staff. You even have like people to cook for you. Here's the problem. He really didn't have none of that stuff for her. He acted like he had that. They got no assets. So you got me up here in a rented house. You got me up here in somebody else's house in a leased car. So at the end of the day, I don't have anything to show for it. So no, you're not about to sit up here cheating on me in this little rented center house with this rented furniture and this rented everything on credit, everything on Amex. And you ain't even paid your Amex such that you got pending lawsuits and tax liens so that even if you wanted to get me a house, you couldn't. Jesus. So that's also why it's important. Before you marry these guys, y'all, just call me. We'll do a quick little check. I even do checks for people, y'all, where I will say, hey, if I don't see anything, do you want me to just call and tell you, hey, you're good? Or I can tell you there's something of concern and we can schedule an appointment to go over it. Because some people don't want the bad news, right? That's fine. All of that is, but you owe it to yourself, especially if you are going to have kids or already have a child, to make sure who you're dealing with is who they are. Because I guarantee you, the person she fell in love with back at school is not the clown that we're dealing with today.
It is. Right. He's the same clown, Simone. She said he was cheating the whole time.
Also, Justine, if you're still there, did you have anything you wanted to add? If so.
She said he was cheating the whole time in school, Sister Simone.
I know it's been a while. I forgot that we had people out here waiting to speak. Somebody said there's never a reason to cheat on anyone, period. That sounds great in theory, but realistically, I've heard of situations where, you know, the child is in high school, they have multiple children, and their philosophy, you know, the one spouse is a complete and total bitch, and they say, you know what, I'm just here for the kids, tolerating this for the kids. As soon as the kids graduate high school, I'm out. I have seen situations where I can understand it. I wouldn't do it, but the goal, especially, I've seen that situation where the husband is so terrible to the wife, but he knows good and well the wife can't afford to move out on her own. She might be able to do it if there were no kids involved, but a lot of times the wife's money goes to the kids' extracurriculars and getting them off to college. So I've seen situations. So the best bet, yes, somebody said just get out. Somebody, yes, she's been abused. We feel sorry for her, but it's not okay that now she's selling expensive courses, working on other women's vulnerabilities. Well, it seems like, you know, she's trying to get it how she can, right? Because she's probably now figured out they ain't got no assets. I'm sure her attorney has probably helped her figure out they ain't got no assets. They ain't got anything to split. Hopefully she gets to split those BET checks with him. And she's got 3 kids to raise in the state of Texas that's going to give her less than $3,000 a month to take care of all 3 of them, as opposed to a state like California that would have given her over $13,000 a month. You can be a stay-at-home with $13,000. Oh, yes, you know what I'm saying? And then sell your little internet classes or whatever you got going on. But also, Denia, I'm sorry, baby, I'm saying your name wrong. But Denia, I'm sure you're not watching this. But if somebody is her friend who is, the other thing is, with him doing this BET stuff and him wanting to be back on TV, chances are he may move to LA soon, right? when he moves to LA, hey, baby, consult with the lawyer. Don't be afraid to transfer your case there and have child support recalculated on California.
Yes.
Because ain't no way he's going to be staying in little bitty old Collin County for life. I highly doubt that. Somebody said, why is BET giving him a show? He's a clown. I don't know. But I know this. Some of the best dating advice I ever received was from some of my homeboys who were hoes. Hoe men give some of the best dating advice. So if you know a hoe, definitely call him the next time you get into it with somebody you're dating. Call and say, hey, hoe, this is what happened. How do you think I should respond? Because they know what would make them behave or what would make them modify their behavior. And then they also know what is a hopeless cause. So perhaps he should rebrand himself as like the hoe whisperer, like the man hoe whisperer, and just from the perspective of, hey, I am what you don't want, right? So if I am telling you this is what this man is doing, or this is what you're about to go through, believe me, and I can tell you how to avoid it, because it is what would have worked for me, right? To modify my behavior or whatever. So I don't know. Somebody said that's what Tristan's baby mama did. She moved to California just like that from Texas to LA. Exactly. She consulted with an attorney. See, Denia is operating on Jesus and love, and that's fine. But when your opponent is somebody who don't have a soul or a conscience and is very money hungry, you're going to lose every time. You got to get you an attorney who operates on money and competition. Okay. So that you and Jesus can sit together and pray in your little prayer corner while your attorney is fighting for your rights and knocking him over the head with the law.
Right.
Somebody say Pax. All right. Any last questions or comments? Anybody want to join?
Oh, girl, that was so good.
All right, Adriana.
Let me get my phone to Cash App. Michael Jr.
Jesus also said, if you like wisdom, ask for it. Ain't that the truth? Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys tuning in this week as well. Please, again, if you were watching this from my Ages and Stages page, please head over to Girl Is That Legal and check it out. Rewatch it. Let it play in the background or whatever from there, because I got to get those monetization hours. I think I need 1,500 more. Also, if you want a background check done this week, feel free. Feel free to fill out the form that's in the description below. You can win a free background check, or come to my page.
All right, y'all. So what y'all, girl, this was a lot. This was a lot. And I wanted to come live today, but I'm not going to be able to. So I figure, well, this is a perfect thing for me to talk about. So, girl, what did y'all think about this messiness, honey? What y'all thought about it? Well, this was a lot, but I'm going to be Cash Apping Sister Simone for this juiciness. Go get a room, please, Michael Jr. So that she can know I appreciate the tea. Also later today at 6 p.m. I am going to be talking about the husband profile course with one of our ladies that took the course. She was almost 70 years old and she took the course. And we really enjoyed her, and she got so much wisdom out of the class, and she has so much wisdom to share. Her name is Princess Lisa, and so we're going to be talking to her later. That is the plan. I'm going to jump off and send her an email. What time is it? It's 12:28. I need to go take my nap so I can be up at 6 p.m. I love you. Thank you for your love and support. Remember, my husband profile course begins in July. Ladies, you need to sign up for this course to keep you away from the Derrick Jacks of this world. And of course, Dating for Data is coming out very soon. I love you. Talk to you later. Bye.